Football is supposed to be beautiful. It's about skill, passion, and amazing moments that take your breath away. But sometimes, fans cross the line. From a fan beating up a player to securities chasing drunk men, these are times when pitch invasions completely destroyed football matches. Get ready for some crazy stories. Let's start with one of the most famous pitch invasions ever. During the 2019 Champions League final between Liverpool and Tottenham, a woman named Kinsey Wanksy ran onto the field. She was wearing a revealing outfit that promoted her boyfriend's website. This wasn't just a random fan moment, it was all planned. Her boyfriend Vitaly had done this before at the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 NBA Finals. But since he was banned from stadiums, he got Kinsey to do it instead. The stunt got him a $15,000 fine, but made millions in free advertising. Talk about an expensive marketing campaign. But not all pitch invasions are about money. Sometimes they're about pure love for the game. During a match between Brazil and South Africa in 2014, a 7-year-old kid slipped away from his parents and ran onto the pitch. Security caught him and started taking him away. Then something beautiful happened. The Brazilian players saw what was going on and decided to make that kid's day. They gathered around him, took photos, and gave him the moment of his life. This shows the difference between invasions that harm the game and those that remind us why we love it. Now here's something you don't see every day. This man literally parachuted into a football match. It was an accident, but imagine being a player and suddenly seeing someone fall from the sky during your game. The match had to be stopped while everyone figured out what was happening. This actually happened twice. The second time was during the 2021 Euros at the Alliance Arena. The parachuter almost crashed into the media section before landing on a pitch. Come on, how do you even plan for something like that? But some fans think they're smarter than security. This woman didn't just only dodge every security guard chasing her, but also managed to take off her shirt and try to hug a player. She was running around a pitch like she owned the place. The security guards looked like they were playing a game of tag, except they were losing badly. The woman was faster, smarter, and clearly had a plan. She eventually got caught, but not before making the security team look silly on live television. But sometimes the best moments in football don't involve humans at all. Animals can be pitch invaders too. This little dog ran onto the field during a match and did something incredible. He stole a player's boot right off his foot. The dog then ran around the pitch with the boot in his mouth, and everyone tried to catch him. The best part? When they finally caught the dog, they carried him off the field like he was a celebrity. The crowd cheered louder for the dog than they had for any goal. After Brazil lost to Croatia in the 2022 World Cup, something touching happened. The Croatian player's young son saw Neymar crying and wanted to comfort him. Security tried to stop the kid, but when the players saw what was happening, they let the boy through. The image of this young Croatian fan hugging a heartbroken Neymar showed the beautiful side of football. It reminded everyone that beyond the competition, there's humanity and compassion. Even training sessions aren't safe from invasions. A fan once stormed PSG's training ground and was being dragged away by security. But Neymar, being the class act he is, stopped everything and went over to take a photo with the fan. This shows how some players understand that fans are the reason they can do what they love. Instead of getting angry, Neymar turned a potentially negative moment into something positive. Okay, enough with the emotion. Let's flip the script. In 2009, two friends decided to invade a Manchester United match together. They ran onto the pitch with perfect timing and coordination. But the funniest part wasn't their invasion. It was how the crowd reacted. The entire stadium erupted in laughter and cheers. These two guys had somehow turned their stupid decision into entertainment. They got arrested, but they also became legends in their own minds. But sometimes, fans think they can do better than professional players. One fan proved he might be right when he jumped onto the field and took a penalty kick. His technique was actually pretty good, and he scored. The players were so impressed they didn't even seem angry. Sometimes you have to respect the skill, even if you don't respect the method. This fan probably went home feeling like he'd won the World Cup. Come on, let's be real here. That invasion was creative. Speaking of creative invasions, 3 fans once dressed up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to mess with Kylian Mbappe. They picked this costume because Mbappe's nickname is Ninja Turtle. The planning that went into this was actually impressive. Mbappe himself seemed to enjoy the joke. He even received a Ninja Turtle mask as a gift later. Now, that was funny. But not all invasions are funny. During a penalty shootout, a club owner ran onto the field with a gun in his pocket. This wasn't a joke or a prank. This was genuinely dangerous. Security had to escort him off the field immediately. The man was arrested and sentenced to 2 years in prison. This shows how invasions can cross from annoying to actually life-threatening. There's a big difference between wanting a selfie and bringing weapons to a football match. But wait, this is about to go crazy. The moment Jose Mourinho ran onto the pitch to celebrate, he was doing his thing, but something else was happening in the background. This fan invaded the field and was trying to punch one of the players. Mourinho was so focused on his celebration that he didn't even notice the chaos happening behind him. The contrast between his joy and the violence in the background created one of the most bizarre moments in football history. And speaking of targeting a player, this fan was so obsessed with insulting Messi that he ran onto the field just to get close enough to shout at him. But instead of reaching his target, the fan tripped over his own feet and fell flat on his face. Security grabbed him before he could get back up. That was karma at work. This fan probably spent more time planning his insult than practicing his running, and it showed. Now, check this out. At an amateur match, these two fans created the most creative invasion ever. They put a motor on a wheelbarrow and pretended it was an ambulance. They drove it onto the field while the players played along with the joke. Everyone was laughing, including the players. This shows how invasions can sometimes add to the fun instead of ruining it. But get this. During a Premier League match, this fan ran onto the field and security chased him down. When they finally caught him, they realized something shocking. It wasn't a fan at all. It was actually Mendy, the Manchester City defender. The security guard's face must have been priceless when he realized he'd been chasing a professional footballer. Sometimes the real players are the ones causing the chaos. Speaking of identity confusion, this fan dressed up as Cristiano Ronaldo and ran onto the field during a Real Madrid match. He almost fooled everyone, including the players. The real Ronaldo was sitting on the bench, so for a moment, there seemed to be two Ronaldos. The fake Ronaldo was clearly out of shape compared to the real one. When they finally caught him, even the referee was smiling. The audacity of this fan was both impressive and ridiculous. But here's the most heartbreaking invasion ever. In a Champions League final, Real Madrid versus Liverpool, Ronaldo was on a breakaway, about to score the winning goal for his team. Then this fan ran onto the field right in front of him. The game stopped immediately. That breakaway, it was Ronaldo's very last touch as a Real Madrid player. A fan literally ruined Ronaldo's perfect goodbye moment, but when Watford scored the goal that got him promoted to the Premier League, something amazing happened. The entire crowd stormed the field to celebrate with the players. This wasn't an invasion, it was pure joy exploding onto the pitch. Moments like these remind us that football is about community and shared emotions. When done right, fans joining players on the field can be beautiful instead of dangerous. Now let's be a reminder, not all players are nice to pitch invaders, because when a fan ran onto the field to provoke the rival team's goalkeeper, the keeper decided to take matters into his own hands. He chased the fan down and sent him running for his life. The fan probably expected security to handle it, not a 6-foot-tall goalkeeper charging at him. This fan was really more afraid of the keeper than the security guard. But the best pitch invasion stopper ever was a mother who saw her son run onto the field. She didn't wait for security. She ran onto the pitch herself, grabbed her kid, and dragged him off the field by his ear. Security just stood there and watched. Even they knew not to mess with an angry mom. This kid learned a lesson he'll never forget, and it didn't come from a security guard. Sometimes the best entertainment comes from the most unexpected sources. Animal invasions can be cute too. A little dog ran onto the pitch and actually made friends with one of the goalkeepers. Instead of being annoyed, the keeper played with the dog for a few minutes. The crowd loved it, and the dog seemed to understand that he was the star of the show. During a training session, a team discovered they weren't alone on the field. A cow had wandered into the middle of their practice and was just standing there, looking confused. The cow probably thought she'd found a great place to graze. The players had to stop training and wait for someone to lead the cow away. This might be the most rural pitch invasion ever recorded. But not all animals are calm. This rooster invaded a match and put on a show that no human could match. This bird was dodging security guards, running around the field, and generally making everyone look foolish. The crowd was laughing so hard they forgot about the actual game. The rooster seemed to understand that he was the main attraction. He took his time leaving the field, as if he was enjoying his moment in the spotlight. Even the players were impressed by his ball skills. Sometimes the best pitch invaders are the ones who are supposed to be there. This police dog saw the ball rolling and decided to join the game. He ran onto the field and started playing with the ball like it was a toy. This dog was better behaved than most human invaders, and he was actually supposed to be at the stadium, but this next invader wasn't. Technology has created new types of invasions. Someone flew a drone onto the pitch during a match, but the crowd took care of it. A fan in the stands hit the drone perfectly, sending it crashing to the ground. The drone pilot lost his expensive toy, but the crowd got to see some impressive target practice. That fan just solved a problem created by another, but this next invasion shocked everyone. These guys drove a car onto the field. It was a sponsor's vehicle, but nobody expected them to actually drive it onto the pitch during a match. The players had to dodge the car while trying to continue playing. This might be the only time in football history when players had to worry about getting hit by a car during a match. The driver probably thought he was being clever, but he just created chaos. Now, let's talk about something new. Fans once brought hundreds of tennis balls to a match and threw them all onto the field at once. The pitch was covered in yellow balls, and the game had to be stopped while everyone cleaned up. This was coordinated chaos. The fans had clearly planned this invasion for weeks. It wasn't dangerous, but it was definitely effective at stopping the match. But during an Apex match, a masked person ran onto the field carrying a banner with a message that was so offensive, we can't even talk about what it said. This invasion turned a football match into something much darker. The game had to be stopped, and the atmosphere in the stadium changed completely. This invasion brought real-world problems into what should be a safe space for sports. And while this was happening, in Turkey, fans from both teams invaded the pitch at the same time and started fighting each other. What should have been a celebration turned into a dangerous brawl in the middle of the field. The securities couldn't control the situation, and players had to run for safety. Now, let's talk about an invasion that changed the main game to another game. 6 different fans invaded the field during a single match in Portugal. While security was trying to catch one, another would appear somewhere else. It was like a game of whack-a-mole, except the moles were drunk football fans. One security guard accidentally knocked over a player while chasing an invader. The match became more about catching fans than playing football. This chaos perfectly represents how invasions can completely ruin the beautiful game. These moments show how pitch invasions can be funny, touching, or dangerous, but they always leave an impact. Football should be safe and joyful for everyone. Passion for the game is powerful, but how you use it matters. So if you're ever tempted to run onto the pitch, ask yourself, are you adding to the beauty of football or taking away from it?